What a day it has been, huh? Zambia, what a day for me. But the fact that I'm here, I made it. Yeah, so it was quite the weekend for me. I attended a concert, a Legends Night concert. It was really beautiful. I saw a lot of artists performing, there dancing. Hey, live music, by the way. Live music, live bands there on stage. It was really, really, really beautiful. And I really enjoyed my night until now. I got to realize that I don't have my main phone. I'm like, oh my goodness. I don't have my phone. Where is my phone? Tried calling it, phone is off because the battery was low. Took too many videos and said so many things and, recorded so many things, having a good time. And I do not have my phone. And I'm worried looking at the number of people around. Fortunately, I was in the VIP area, so it wasn't too crowded. It wasn't too crowded. But still, I said, ish, anything can happen. And I was like, but this is it's a very mature crowd here. I don't know if they can really steal, phones like that. I don't think that's who they are. But I was looking for my phone. I couldn't find my phone. I'm worried, and I thought to myself, okay, my phone is gone. It's a bit of some hope that maybe one of my friends carried it. So I just waited. I said, you know what? Maybe one of my friends carried it. I'll try to call at a different time. Probably he's going to want to charge it and all that stuff. The following day, I tried all of that. Nothing. My phone was not going through. I kept on trying and trying. And I knew that, look, if I continue without that main phone, because most of my clients, most people who know me have that number. So everyone calls me using that number. But I knew that if I don't have my phone on, I'm going to lose out on quite a lot of business that could get me that could help me replace the money I'll spend on getting a new phone. So I had to get back on phone, right? I had to replace the SIM card. And the thing is, I've lost phones so many times. I know the process. Like I know what I need to do. I don't waste time. 'Cause I see some people lose the phone. Now they're panicking. So what do I do? And then they go to the place, the outlet for their mobile network provider, trying to replace. And then they go with like a driving license. Just like rookies. Let me teach you how pros go about this. You don't carry your driving license. They stopped doing that years ago. But yeah, so of course, as a professional, I went there. I already knew the process. I already knew how much I had in my account. I already know which outlets not to go to because you can't go to certain outlets when it's above a certain amount in your mobile money. If you're really worried about the money, you have to call to block immediately. You realize, like I know all the steps. I feel like I can advise people. Those who get so disappointed. There's one story I once came across, a story where somebody wanted to. Someone killed a girl killed herself because she lost her phone. Yeah, and there was a young girl. I think she was like probably in her late teens, maybe like
Crazy.
18,
I
19.
don't think I would do that. I've only lost a phone once in my life.
Really?
And I knew I lost it.
Ah. So I was praying. I was praying to God. I said, please, please. I just bought this phone recently. Let me try to replace the phone, and yeah, got to eventually do that. And oh no, didn't replace it, but I just found out the phone was found. So I was very very excited. Yeah, that feeling. I think that feeling is better than someone telling you, "I love you."
Clearly, the wrong people are telling you I love you.
All right, okay, let's get straight into it. Zambia, what a day. That was about my day, but it's not all about me. A bit of it, because I'm hosting it, but it's not all about me. But let's get into stories that will be taking a look at Nkana Member of Parliament, Bino Mpundu, being dragged to court for accusing Trevor Mwinde. I think it's supposed to be Mwinde. If it's the UPND Deputy National Youth Chairperson. Of being behind the alleged abduction of JJ Banda. We'll be talking about President Hakainde Hichilema urging Norway to reopen embassy. We'll also be getting to. Oh, okay. So I came across this particular story. But anyway, we're talking about it. Kazungula School hit by desk shortage. And those are some of the stories that we'll be getting into. But let's start off with President Hakainde Hichilema and his meeting with his or the Minister of International Development and Cooperation, Asmund Grover Ukrost. All right, so he was at State House, and the Republican president appealed to the Norwegian government to re-establish its embassy in Zambia, stressing the need for strengthened bilateral ties in light of increasing global instability, trade tensions, and economic uncertainty. The head of state says Zambia is eager to learn from Norway's experience in responsible mining, environmental stewardship, and transparency in the extractive industries. And Mr. Okrust has affirmed that Zambia is regarded as a reliable partner and underscored the importance of deepening cooperation in trade, investment, tourism, and job creation while upholding international law, especially for smaller nations. Let's take a look at this.
Norwegian Minister of International Development and Cooperation and his delegation paid a courtesy call on President Hakainde Hichilema, where discussions centered on strengthening bilateral relations amid rising global uncertainties. President Hichilema urged Norway to reopen its embassy in Zambia, emphasizing that enhanced cooperation is vital in an era marked by geopolitical instability, trade tensions, and economic challenges. He commended Norway's achievements in resource governance, sustainable development, and transparency, noting that Zambia seeks to draw lessons from its experience in responsible mining and environmental management.
We don't support aggression, we don't support conflict, so to say. As you know, our history as a country, we were host to a lot of liberation struggles, independence struggles, and we carry that pedigree, Minister, from those many years, since 1964. So that is extremely important to us, and we're happy to hear you say those things, alignment on those areas, and let's deepen that partnership. We also are concerned about the trade, the global trade. You touched on the trade war. I think we should replace trade wars with more cooperation, as the Minister said. But I think with all of this rounded up, I must say to you that it's high time Norway reconsiders, Minister, returning the embassy here, as opposed from servicing us from Malawi. We love Malawi, but I think given how the world is evolving, I think it's important that Norway, Zambia, and for you to relook at your embassy.
The minister highlighted Zambia as a trusted partner and called for deeper collaboration.
I think the world we are living in now, there are very dramatic times internationally, with brutal wars on all continents, with a lack of respect of international law, with very clear attacks on multilateralism, in a potential war on trade. So there is so much uncertainty. But what I'm very certain of is that to face this, we need to have strong partners and friends, cross-regional, and we need to strengthen the work that we have together. And we think Zambia is already an excellent partner for us and has been so for decades, and we want to strengthen it even more.
Zambian ministers weighed in on this topic of discussion.
I think for us in Africa, we knew that assistance, aid, would not be perpetual. At some point, it is to end. What has been a little bit difficult, though, is the abrupt nature with which it has happened. But that is the reality. We have to face it. And from the very beginning, this administration, the agenda was fairly simple. Deal with the unsustainable debt that we found ourselves in.
This is very important because we'll have candidatures, for example, in the international organizations, and likewise Norway will have, and we agreed to a large extent that we would support one another in that regard.
Victoria Kayeye Yambani, Diamond News.
So that's on the meeting between President Hakainde Hichilema and the Norwegian Minister of International Development and Cooperation. So I just learned that I really never knew this until now, that we do not have an embassy here, or rather, Norway does not have an embassy here in Zambia. They used to, but it should have been about 2016 when it was closed, and instead they managed operations from Malawi. So it was the embassy is in Malawi, but they managed operations through Malawi here in Zambia. That's what the president is saying. Hey, come back here. In fact, he made reference to his younger days as a younger professional, where he did a lot of work with people from Norway. So he would frequent the embassy here in Zambia, and he understood also the importance that these bilateral relations have, and that's why he's calling for them to reopen to establish an embassy here in Zambia. I mean, you probably want that, really, because if you want to have that direct relationship with another country, I don't know if you'd be okay as a president that the embassy is in the other country.
I don't think it matters.
You don't think it matters? Why?
How many people, I don't know, maybe it's just an ignorance thing, but like, as long as they're open to like discussions, I don't think it matters. Like everything has to be easy. If you need to get, as long as you don't have to go to Malawi to get a Norwegian visa, I don't think it matters. Because also you have to think about it. It's taxpayers' money. So how much does it cost to put an embassy everywhere where you want a relationship with people?
So from their perspective, yeah. I mean, also when you look at. If you look at, but the fact that there was an embassy here, for them to close it down, it means they probably weighed their options. Like, okay, where can we close? Okay, I know Zambia should be one of the countries that we're going to close. I'd like to believe it's not just Zambia that made that decision on. Probably should have happened across different countries, but yeah, if they had a choice, it would be nice if that choice was Zambia. Managing Malawi from Zambia. What about that? Huh? But anyway, that's around that, and hopefully they'll heed to that appeal by President. They'll honor his request over there. Let's talk about let's get to Kazungula, Southern Province, where Malima Primary School in Kazungula district is facing a critical shortage of desks despite a significant rise in enrollment following the introduction of the government's free education policy. Head teacher Spencer Mudenda says the shortage is disrupting learning as many pupils are forced to sit on the floor during lessons. Katumbola Member of Parliament Dr. Clement Andeleki, who visited the school, has expressed disappointment that the institution has yet to receive desks and has directed relevant authorities to address the matter with urgency. Let's look at this report from Gabriel Muba.
Pupils at Malima Primary School in Kazungula District, Southern Zambia, are still learning while seated on the floor due to a critical shortage of desks. This, in spite of President Hakainde Hichilema's directive for the procurement of desks to support quality education. Head teacher Spencer Mudenda shared the concern with Katombola constituency Member of Parliament Dr. Clement Andeleki during a tour of the school, stating that while the free education policy is commendable, the lack of basic infrastructure like desks is undermining its intended impact.
I therefore wish to let you know that this school has never received a desk from CDF. We submitted over 70 desks, desk frames for renovation, but no desk was brought to this school up to date. The situation is worrying us.
The situation has drawn concern from Dr. Andeleki, who questioned why desks have not been delivered, despite over 5 million kwacha allocated to desk procurement in Kazungula under the Constituency Development Fund.
The desks that have not been received here, they must be brought, like yesterday, they must be followed up to know where the 7 million kwacha went. Because we bought desks, why didn't they get?
The matter also brings into focus the roles of former and current CDF committee chairperson Sophia Jani and Biva Mujindo respectively.
Yes, Honorable, I'm sure there are some more days which are still coming to Simango as the directive by the President to say no child should sit on the floor. And I'm sure those days are still coming. We are being guided by the time when I was the CDF chairperson by the Minister of Education.
I'm also surprised that Malima did not receive because we sent more than 400 desks which were allocated to this ward, Simango in total. So the people who are responsible for the actual distribution of this is the debt.
Meanwhile, Senior Chief Mutsogotoni has issued a strong warning against child marriages. The traditional leader has tasked its headmen and women to ensure that school-going children are protected and kept in school.
Ponya ayebo osi buku olekera za mushobo kazi kitika mu munzi mwindiwe tulandwe so mebo tandiko sika hansi bwabo bazyali police ndiba bwene mebo ndigamasi buku ndigamasinya kutakuli ma cases amushobo kuno kumalimba mwamana.
The visit coincided with the public forum hosted by the area member of parliament Clement Andeleki, which drew large attendance from community members eager to engage on developmental issues. Gabriel Josiah Smova, Diamond News, Southern Zambia.
Above all, I hope that the desks will be provided and the pupils there will be able to benefit. Still unfortunate we still have that in some of the schools where you don't have pupils on desks. You have to sit on the floor as they get to learn.
Did you ever have to sit on the floor any time in your life?
I won't lie, no.
Lucky you.
Did you?
No, I'm privileged. No, but I don't know if UNZA counts though.
Why were you sitting on the floor at UNZA? It was too packed.
Yeah, some
okay,
lecture
but yeah,
theaters
some classes, yeah.
You get too packed that it's either you sit on the floor or you like sit on a table or something, or you stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if that counts, but yeah. And it's a horrible...
So I bet you used to go late for class, huh?
Yes, I was always the last one in, first one out. It's a horrible learning experience.
Is the last person in, last person out?
Last one in, first one out.
Why were you that kind of person?
I don't know. I'm not even going to lie, I was the perfect student. No, I've never been the perfect student.
Okay. All right. Interesting. So, but for these learners here, the young learners, the kids, this is quite the, unfortunate situation for them, and we hope that this will be quickly resolved so that the kids don't have to sit in that kind of situation. They don't have to really go through that. Okay, let's get to our final story, which is on the Nkana Member of Parliament, Binu Mpundu, who has been dragged to court for accusing Trevor Mwinde of being behind the alleged abduction of JJ Banda. In this matter, Mr. Mpundu, who is charged with the offense of seditious practices contrary to the laws of Zambia, according to the particulars of the offense, the state has also alleged that Mr. Mpundu, on December 29th, 2024, in Lusaka, urged his fellow politicians to buy guns in readiness to defend themselves, remarks said to incite violence or any offense prejudicial to public order or likely to disturb the public peace. When the matter came up before court, Chief Resident Magistrate Davis Chibwidi allocated the case to himself. However, the accused was not present as he is reportedly unwell, according to his surety, Kamfinsa Member of Parliament, Christopher Kangombe. The matter has since been adjourned to August 18th, 2025 for plea. Let's take a look at this.
Under the regime of the United Party for National Development, UPND, Nkana Member of Parliament Binu Mpundu becomes the third MP to be dragged to court for the offence of seditious practices. Others include former Mfue Member of Parliament Maureen Mabonga and former Independent Lumezi Member of Parliament Munia Zulu, both of whom lost their parliamentary seats following convictions on similar charges. Mr. Mpundu is charged with seditious practices contrary to Section 57 subsection 1b read together with Section 60 subsection 1i of the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the Laws of Zambia. The state alleges that on December 29, 2024 in Lusaka, Mr. Mpundu made public remarks linking Trevor Mwinde to the abduction of Honorable J.J. Banda. He further claimed that the suspect remained untouched by police and went on to assault Sean Tembo in front of the Luapula Commissioner of Police, Yui Mwaya. Additionally, Mr. Mpundu is alleged to have urged fellow politicians to acquire firearms to defend themselves, remarks the state says were meant to incite violence or disturb public order. When the matter was called, Chief Resident Magistrate Davis Chiwili allocated the case to himself. However, the accused was not in attendance. Defense lawyer Newman Siwila informed the court that Mr. Mpundu is unwell. His surety confessor, Member of Parliament Christopher Kangombe, has confirmed this and presented a medical report from Kitwe Teaching Hospital. After reviewing the sick note, Magistrate Chiwili noted that it lacked sufficient detail but granted the accused the benefit of the doubt. The matter has been adjourned to August 18, 2025 for plea. Under the laws of Zambia, seditious practices carry a maximum penalty of up to 7 years imprisonment or a fine not exceeding 6,000 penalty units or both for a first offense. Mr. Mpundu remains out of custody as the case proceeds. Best Jerry, Diamond News.
All right, that's around the Nkana Member of Parliament. Of course, this is a court matter. We'll see how this will actually go. But I think generally, Mr. Bino Mpundu has been making quite the headlines, eh? He's now becoming... but I think as politicians, they enjoy that, isn't it? They're having a field day.
More people are knowing him.
What's that?
More people get to know him. Politicians love popularity.
If it's not TikTok videos where he's saying Chimutwe, Shana Shani, it's these police court cases. I guess it also gives mileage to them because, look, you'll be in the news, you'll be in the Diamond News desk, you'll be on social media because people will be filming you as you're walking out of court. You'll be in the front pages of different newspapers. So the politicians have come to realize that it's mileage for them. And I don't understand why also governments in power have not realized that. Because there are just certain cases where we know that, I think as a public, we can tell that maybe it's just a case that, number one, maybe could have not even been pursued, or number two, you sort of have an idea of how it's going to end because you've seen how similar cases have ended. But you still see politicians. I think there's certain matters that come up where people just see them as political, really. Yeah, I mean, the others that you can see that, okay, this is the seriousness here, but then there's some where people just like, looks political.
I just don't like how a lot of politicians go for the wrong political mileage. I think if people are talking...
It's what sells.
I don't know why. I think it's because we feed it and it sells and that's the stuff we cover. But like, it's not right. It doesn't feel right. It feels dirty.
Wait, what feels dirty?
Like getting the wrong political mileage. Like, imagine being covered by the newspaper, being known as that guy that accused somebody of kidnapping somebody. It's wrong political mileage.
Do we? Personally, I don't think we have that in Zambia. I don't think we have and that's the thing. Maybe we should, but I guess we don't. We just don't have it. We don't. I think it's also. I think even ourselves, the quality of ourselves as the electorate, we should really look into that. Sometimes we blame our politicians, but sometimes we also need to consider our interests as the people of that vote. So. Because sometimes the politicians who dance to our tune, they'll dance to what we feed off or what they see we enjoy. So if we are people who enjoy issue-based discussions and all of that, I think politicians will begin to now go into that particular direction. But if they realize that people like these sensational conversations or you say something crazy, I mean, who knew? Like even just for example, like President Hakainde Hichilema, during his campaigns prior to 2021. Well, you know, we heard him even use a cuss word one time.
I don't think I remember that, eh? And thinking about it feels a little bit weird because I can't think of the father of the nation, Kasi.
You've never heard that before?
No, I've never heard it. But that's my thing, right?
That was like such a thing that it like went viral. I was shocked. I said, "Wow, I never thought I would hear that from him." This is the church elder. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but my chat is right.
But he was not that kind of person before. In fact, he was more. And I think some people also criticize him, saying he's too technical. He's too, because that's how he came on the scene. He was explaining things from a technical perspective, and it seems people are telling him you can't win like this, so you have to now just do some crazy.
You're enjoying that button. But my chat is, right? I get doing something for popularity, right? But your core basis, your core values should be like for the right reasons, right? So if you dance to the people's tunes to get into the office, but once you're in the office, you shouldn't play that type of politics.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. If you're in the office, you really
Honorable Binwal he's in office already. There's no point of him playing that type of politics in office. Pointing at each other, it's unnecessary. Also, you should remember, all this is taxpayers' money.
Yes, but again, look, as I'm saying, this man is in court because he also has what he's been saying in his defense. We've done interviews with him. He's also said he's defended himself before the matter came to court. He gave his perspective and he expressed being misunderstood, and this was being unfair on him. So obviously he's going to have more time to defend himself further through the courts of law. But he had been explaining that even from what he's saying, it's just he's being politically misunderstood. That's what he's been saying through those particular interviews. But we don't want to what do they call it? To be in contempt with the courts of law. So we'll see how this matter goes and what the outcome will be. But I mean, it's not the first time we've heard of stories similar to this for politicians. So it'll be interesting how that goes. Okay, that's it for Zambia. What a day for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's do this again tomorrow.